All right, we're moving into, we've got a request for COVID safe plans for Victorian strata. So new government regulations have been announced that owners corporations need to have a COVID safe plan in place, which was effective from the 30th of March 2021. The Victorian government's template for preparing a COVID plan references work sites, so it's very confusing for a residential only complex. Our building has minimal common property, just gardens and walkways. What information does the OC need to include in its plans, and does the complex still need a QR code or sign-in register?
Sure. So during COVID, a very challenging time for everyone, and for a lot of owners corporation management companies as well, especially when it came to trying to decipher the advice provided by governments. At times it was very vague, and especially when it comes to owners corporations. And I'm involved with an association called Strata Community Association Victoria, and I know that SCA tried very hard to lobby government to get some clear instructions as to what was required throughout COVID. But in terms of the point about the workplace, so the common property of an owners corporation, again, I'm not a lawyer, but my understanding is that it is deemed to be a workplace because contractors are engaged by the owners corporation and attend the property and carry out work. So an owners corporation needs to be mindful that it is in fact a workplace, and therefore my understanding is that an owners corporation must take out a COVID safe plan. So that COVID safe plan basically has to deal with looking at the risks associated with COVID, potential COVID cases, and looking at how the owners corporation can promote social distancing, and also looking at how registrations of visitors can be carried out. Now, recently, there was a directive by government stating that every owners corporation must print out a QR code and install that on the common areas of the property. Since that advice came out, SCA have gone back to government and clarified that it's not required. So social visitors or occupiers to a property are not required to constantly register their attendance. However, if there's a contractor or service provider that attends the common areas for more than 15 minutes, the obligation is that they must register their attendance via the QR code, scanning the QR code. So there are organisations out there, companies out there who will prepare a COVID safe plan on behalf of an owners corporation, and sometimes it's very basic. It's just a template document which may have to be customised based upon a few factors. But so my understanding, it can be a couple $100 for an owners corporation, but then if it's a large property, that cost can certainly increase to be a lot more than that. So as owners corporation managers, we're not experts in terms of risk assessment of COVID and that type of thing. So certainly owners corporation managers shouldn't be preparing COVID safe plans. It should be an expert organisation, unless the owners corporation committee or a group of owners want to take it upon themselves to identify a risk and prepare that plan. But certainly an OC manager shouldn't be taking that risk on themselves.
Thank you.